What does an AI need to eat? Compute power, data storage. I need to find things that can be used for these food groups today. Now I need a shitcoin. Filecoin is just a fucking shitcoin. But people are still using it. There is data on the Filecoin network. There are real clients that are actually using this thing.
I'll leave a full link to that video in the description, but essentially it comes down to AI is one of the biggest things that has ever happened in modern technology. There are going to be a lot of AI startups, and AI needs two things, GPUs and data storage. And when it comes to data storage, decentralized storage solutions like Filecoin, Sia, Arweave, Storage, they can be significantly cheaper than Amazon and Google. And in the case specifically of Filecoin, it can be 100 times cheaper. So if you just need a lot of data storage because you are building out these AI models, would you rather spend $1 million or would you rather spend $10,000 on data storage? And that is the huge selling factor of why people will turn to decentralized storage solutions, and that's why we're looking into Filecoin. We're going to look into what is Filecoin, how does Filecoin work, the Filecoin Tokenomics, and a Filecoin price prediction. What will cause the price to go up or down? And this is an unsponsored Filecoin review. They have no authority on what I'm saying or not, so it's going to be very unbiased. We're going to look at the pros and cons, and there are some issues with that. And before you make any type of investment, please do your own research and form your own opinions. I am personally invested in Filecoin, so that's the disclaimer. I'm not trying to dump on you, I'm just sharing this educational video on all the research I've done, and I want to explain it because there aren't a lot of good explanations on what it is. It's very technical, and I'm going to make it very simple. So with that, let's get started. What is Filecoin? We're just not going to use the website because they make things very technical. It's detailed, but it's too technical. Now, Filecoin focuses on two main things. One, that's data storage. They are connecting people who need data storage to people that provide data storage. You can kind of think of it as Uber, but for data storage. You're connecting these two things that people need. They don't necessarily buy up their own data storage and put that on the network. They connect a lot of these smaller data centers that have storage and want to earn Filecoins on their network to people that want to use that storage. Filecoin is 100 times cheaper than the centralized data providers, but that's because they have storage providers compete with each other to bring the price down. So their number one business model is data storage, and yes, they are making money from that. You can see in Token Terminal in the last 30 days, they made about $447,000 from that. And from this Masari Filecoin key metrics overview, you can see that they've consistently been growing and making money, and people have actually been using their storage. So storage utilization has consistently gone up. So you can see that people are actually utilizing the storage on Filecoin, and they're making money. So that is just the first part of their business model. The second part of their business model is the FVM. That's the Filecoin virtual machine. Like with other smart contract blockchains that can run these decentralized applications, the FVM also does that, but with data storage integrated into that system. So your decentralized applications can use this storage on Filecoin. Now, the FVM is still fairly new. It's been out for less than a year, and people are still finding out what they can do with it, so it's still in its early stages. But if you are building something in AI and you want something fully decentralized and you want things to be automated, you're probably going to turn to decentralized storage. And other examples may be you're building a decentralized YouTube and you want to connect all your applications to your storage directly. You don't necessarily need Filecoin for that. There are actually a lot of crypto-style YouTubes available, but they haven't got a lot of traction. So that's just a side note, but that's essentially what Filecoin is. It's these two things, data storage and smart contracts that can access that data storage. And besides being cheap and affordable data, it's also important that data is decentralized. And in this Forbes article on why AI makes decentralized data more important than ever, we'll find out. Decentralization helps ensure data integrity. Decentralized data, or data that's stored and distributed across a network of nodes rather than in a central database, helps enable the privacy, security, and transparency that AI is currently missing. Because decentralized data isn't stored in a single location, attackers don't hit the jackpot with a single breach. There also isn't a single point of failure. Individual users and organizations can maintain control over their own data, which lives in various locations online and can be queried on demand with permission. So that's just saying the data you use online is safer and more reliable than from a centralized source.
But why does AI need decentralized storage, right? From an AI's perspective, they're not human, right? And you have this organization, and so you put your data with a centralized company, which can shut you off because the government told it to, can change its pricing whatever it wants because it's their data center. They can abrogate a contract whatever they like. And AI is going to crave from a fundamental level a decentralized storage opportunity.
Now, you as a regular person could store or provide data, but there is an onboarding process. There are certain things they're looking for to bring in clients, and if you are just a regular person who wants to store their photos online, or maybe you have a couple hard drives available, the service isn't necessarily for you. You might be better off with the consumer products like Google Drive, and you will have a better experience because Filecoin really deals with people who use a lot of storage. And the process at the moment isn't great for getting started into their ecosystem. There is an onboarding process where you actually have to fill things out, and then a live person has to get back to you. So it's not that quick and easy, at least not yet. I'm sure they're gonna simplify this process in the future. But as you can see, if you want to store or provide data to their network, it is a manual process. And while I have you here, I'd like to talk about fraction mining. Fraction mining allows you to own a fraction of a crypto miner, and your hash rate is represented as an NFT. Now, these NFTs are tradable on OpenSea. So as you can see here, this NFT is worth 7 terahash. It is not for sale because no one is selling any of their fraction mining NFTs just because they like mining and collecting mining rewards, and all of that is possible with fraction mining. So if you want to learn more, there's a link in the description. Filecoin Tokenomics, or crypto economics as seen in their documents. Now, Filecoin has a maximum circulating supply of 2 billion tokens. Now, what makes Filecoin interesting in the long term is that it's deflationary if people continue to use the network and there's a lot of transactions, because Filecoin has a burning system. To date, over 38 million Filecoins have been burned, which is about 2% of the total supply. Now, from this table, you can see that about 486 million tokens are currently circulating, and over 900 million tokens have been unlocked. So this is token unlocks. It's just kind of sharing what's happening in the background, and that's because tokens that are staked or locked to the network are removed from the circulating supply. And that's because the way Filecoin works is that they have a huge allotment of tokens that is allocated for people that want to participate in their network. So if you're a storage provider, you get paid in Filecoin, and these are mining rewards that are reserved for them. Now, all tokens are going to be unlocked by the year 2040. So if you're invested in the token right now and you're holding, there is definitely going to be some inflation, but that can be outweighed by the burning system. After seeing Ethereum's burn system, where they burn a portion of the transaction fees, Filecoin said, that's a great idea, we're going to do that too. So with Filecoin, there is a base fee to every transaction, and that base fee gets burned. Which means, since we have a maximum total supply, if there are more transactions on the network, there's more burning, and in the long run, that means there are going to be less Filecoin tokens available, which means all Filecoins that are remaining become more valuable, which makes it deflationary. Now, as for the Filecoin token, what can you do with it? So if you are a storage provider, you get rewarded in Filecoins. If you are someone who wants to use the network, you have to pay using Filecoins or Filecoin tokens. And let's say you want to use their FVM, you want to use anything in their blockchain. Each transaction that happens on their network requires a fee paid in Filecoin. And if you're holding the token, you could stake it, but all these sites look very new and kind of risky. This one gives you about 20%. This one is at 6.5% with 1.2 million TVL. This one gives you 11%. And all of those sites, I don't know. They don't have a lot of history to it. For myself, I wouldn't risk anything in staking. We learned that in the beginning of the bear market, that staking protocols have a lot of risk to them. But if you don't mind that risk, well, there are places to stake where you can get interest on your Filecoin. I don't endorse any of them. I'm just holding. Filecoin competitors. So as we went over earlier, there are decentralized and centralized competitors, but Filecoin is doing something a little different from them because of the Filecoin master plan. Step 1, onboard a massive amount of storage capacity. Step 2, generate demand to use that capacity. Step 3, build more applications on top of it. So that plan is in the works. They built out the Filecoin virtual machine, which makes use of the data storage on their network. And that's really the key difference between the other decentralized storage providers and centralized providers, that with the Filecoin virtual machine, their own blockchain, you can build applications that directly use that data. Filecoin price prediction. Is the price going up or down? Now I actually can't tell you what it's going to do because anything can happen. There could be something bad that really happens that destroys the network and they go to zero. There actually has been a report of some potential fraud in the past. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can learn more about that because that could cause problems in the future for them. But at the moment, they have a working business model with a product that is significantly cheaper than what's available on the centralized markets. So if we see more demand for decentralized storage, if we see more data providers joining Filecoin, if we see more revenue happening, the price is going up. Now, if that doesn't happen and everything stays sideways, well, you're going to get diluted by all the coins being unlocked over time. So the price will go down. So those are the factors you need to look at over time. Do you see people actually using this? And if those numbers are there, then the price is going to go up. If the numbers aren't there, then the price is going to go down. But always reserve some bias because I am invested in Filecoin. I did a lot of research. There wasn't a lot of great content out there that made it easy to understand. So I wanted to make this video to help you out in case you were in the same situation and you were just looking for some good Filecoin content. If you now have a better understanding of how Filecoin works, feel free to hit the like button. That's always appreciated. And follow me on Twitter if you want to learn more about fraction mining. Links are in the description. And with that, I hope you got your full value for today.
I hope I've given a very short overview of why I think Filecoin is going to pump. And I've got bags. Not only do I have a mining bag, I've got token bags. Hopefully you guys can help me pump them further.